Dear students of class 5, I am Mrs. Neha Makkad, and in this video we are going to continue the lesson Perseus and the Gorgon. So firstly we will revise what we have studied in the first part. Perseus was the son of god Zeus and his mother's name was Danae, and Dictys was his caretaker, and Dictys had a brother who was very cruel. His name was Polydictys, and Polydictys wanted to marry Perseus' mother, and therefore he played many tricks with him. So now let us proceed with the explanation of the second part of the story. When it came to Perseus' turn, the king spoke loudly. "Ha! Perseus, where have you hidden the horse you have got for me?" So, we have seen, children, in the previous part that the king, that is Polydictys, has invited Perseus, and the gift which was expected to be brought at the banquet, that is a special meal which is cooked for lots of people at the banquet, was the horse. So the king, Polydictys, questions him, "Perseus, where have you hidden the horse you have got for me?" So he ridicules him and he says that, "Where have you hidden the horse that was to be brought for this special occasion?" The other guests laughed along. So laugh, children, means to be amused or to make fun of someone or to ridicule someone. So the other guests also made fun of him, that is Perseus, along with the king Polydictys, and one said, "Oh Perseus, don't you know our customs?" So children, what are customs? Customs are the old traditions or the usual way of doing the things. Like for example, when we go to the temple, we take flowers and other things along with us. So that is the basic custom. So here, when he went for this function, so he has to take a horse as a gift along with him, which was the custom, which was the tradition, which was the usual way of doing the things. Perseus felt embarrassed. So what is embarrassment, children? It is to feel awkward, ashamed, or conscious about something. So he felt very ashamed that he had not brought the horse, or he felt very awkward. Everyone in the great hall was looking at him without thinking about the consequences. Consequences means what will happen next. He made a rash promise. So he promised something to the king. What did he promise? That, "King Polydictys, I have no gift for you today, but I promise that I will bring you another gift." So today I have not brought the gift, but I promise that one day I will bring another gift for you. Whatever you like, just name it and I will bring it. So he says that whatever you say, I will bring it. This rash promise, this blind promise he made to the king. The king looked delighted. Delighted means to be happy. He knew that he could use this opportunity to get rid of Perseus. So basically he wanted to marry Perseus' mother. So he wanted that Perseus should never come back only. So that is to get rid of Perseus. He said, "That is kind, Perseus. I know exactly what I want." He smiled menacingly. So menacingly means, children, it is threatening. In a threatening manner he smiled, or in a way that suggests danger. So his smile was in a threatening manner or in a way that suggests that there is some danger in it. "Bring me the head of Medusa." So now, children, as you know that this story is taken from the Greek mythology. So Medusa was a Greek character and it had snakes on the head instead of hair, and this character had the power to turn anyone into stone. So that is why everyone gasped. Gasped, what is the meaning of gasp, children? To catch one's breath with open mouth because of surprise or astonishment. So, like, when we hear some news which is very surprising, so we take a deep, long breath. So, that is why everyone, means all the guests, they gasped. They took a long breath because they all were surprised that he has asked for the head of Medusa. And Perseus nodded and bowed. Nodded, children, it is a gesture of shaking your head and saying a yes. And bowed is the bending movement like we do after, when we complete a performance or something like that. So he shaked his head and he bended and bowed also, means he agreed to what the king has said. It shall be done, he said confidently. So what do you mean by confidently? It is, one is having confidence in one's ability. And then he went to his seat at the banquet table. Now he went back and took his seat on the banquet table, that is the special meat which is cooked for lots of people. He tried hard to keep his face from showing how worried he felt. Worried? What is the meaning of worried? Worried means to be anxious or to be troubled. So he was feeling troubled, he was feeling very anxious, and he tried to keep his face look calm, but it looked worried. The whole kingdom lived in fear of Medusa and her sisters. So Medusa had two other sisters. They were like, children, a witch in the story, and they were Gorgons. So I earlier also told you, the Gorgons are the people, children. They have the power to turn anyone into stone, and they have hair. Instead of hair, they have snakes on their heads. So they looked monstrous. So what is the meaning of monstrous, children? Ugly or frightening. They were monstrous, means frightening creatures, and terrifying means something which causes extreme fear. Who lived in a cave and preyed on anyone. Preyed means to attack someone who came near them. And instead of hair, they had snakes growing out of their heads. So like hair grows on the head, so snakes were growing on their heads. And unlike her sisters, Medusa was mortal. Mortal means, children, someone who cannot die. Okay, they cannot die. So they had that blessing, and could in theory be killed. So they could never die, or they could never be killed. In reality, no one had ever come close to being able to defeat her. So what is defeat? To win over someone. So no one has till now win over Medusa. Anyone who looked directly at Medusa's face was instantly turned into stone. So what is the meaning of instantly? Instantly means at once or immediately. How would a young man be able to defeat her? Means how this young man Perseus would be able to win over Medusa. The next day, before he set off, Perseus spoke to his mother. Don't go. So Perseus' mother said what? Don't go, my dear child. She begged him. So what is begging? Begging is asking someone humbly for something. Then what did Perseus say? I must go, said Perseus. It is the only way to be free from Polydictus. So what is being free, children? Not to be under the control of someone. Up till now they were under the control of Polydictus. So he said, although the challenge is very, very difficult, but I will take this challenge. Why? Because I want to be free from the rule of King Polydictus. So now, children, we will continue this lesson in the further part. Thank you, children.